how you guys doing? Welcome back to another episode of Soldiers Talk the Podcast. I'm your host, Sergeant McPherson, and on this show we discuss military topics with current and prior service members. Today I have another guest with me. I have Sergeant First Class SIAS. Sergeant, go ahead and kind of introduce yourself to the people.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hey, I'm Sergeant First Class SIAS. Hey, I'm 261st MMB S4 NCOIC.
So, sir, can you tell some of the other Yankees what positions you have held as a 92 Yankee?
Yes, as a 92 Yankee, we pretty much wear different hats. When I first came in, I was both the armor assistant and the supply clerk. And then my supply sergeant, PCS, I became the supply sergeant as a PFC, still running the orange room. And then I went to the S4 as a specialist. So I was in the S4 shop, the brigade S4 shop for approximately 2 years. And then once I got promoted, I became the supply sergeant. Went from supply sergeant, went to PBO NCOIC, and now I'm the S4 NCOIC.
Okay, Sergeant. So today is going to be part 2 of the CSDP inspection. So we're going to go ahead and start on the second part of the inspection. So the first question was, has the commander or primary hand receipt holder accept director responsibility for property by signing a hand receipt from each separate property book? So what you mean by each separate property book, Sergeant?
So once the commander assumes responsibility, that's part of his change of command. So you go through the inventory process. You got both organizational, installational, and pretty much with the organization, you got the SI, you got the cyclet, and you got your primary hand receipt. And he's accepting ownership, saying that he's responsible and he's accountable for every piece of equipment on that property book.
Okay, so the next question was, has the commander or primary hand receipt holder further delegated responsibility for all unit property by use of permanent or temporary hand receipts? So this is basically when the commander signs down all the equipment, so nothing should be on the commander's hand receipt. That's basically what this question is saying, right, Sergeant?
Correct. So everything should be signed down to the user level. The only thing that should be on the commander's hand receipt is everything that's being transitioning out, whether it's turn-ins or lateral transfers. Other than that, everything should be on different SLO's hand receipts.
Okay, so the next question is, are separate hand receipts prepared for installation and organizational property?
Yeah, so that goes back to the original change command. So the organization property is pretty much the Army equipment, and installation property is pretty much outside the Army, like refrigerators, furniture, and stuff like that that's been signed outside of the organization.
The next question is, have unit copies of the property listings been signed by the unit commander? So that would be the bombs, right, Sergeant?
Yeah, so it's pretty much like the shortest annex, which in G Army is being created as the bombs. So every property that's in G Army should have a bomb to reflect the components.
Next question is, does the unit use G Army generated hand receipts for DA Form 2062? So 2062, we don't use those no more, right, sir?
So the only time we use a 2062 is when it's a commercialized item, because we don't have a bombs to support the commercialized items. So in that case, we would definitely use a 2062 as the shortest annex. Besides that, we would go with the bombs in G Army.
Okay. Next question is, are hand or sub receipts 2062 or G Army documents properly prepared? So that basically means once you sign out equipment, are you keeping the 2062s on file, right, sir?
You talking about for the actual property, or are you talking about?
Oh, we say, are they properly prepared? So that's basically saying once you once they sign or say if they sign up for anything, they accounted for the property, and they sign directly under what Alpha or Bravo, basically just correctly preparing the 2062. That's basically.
Yeah, so that just goes back to everything being signed down to the user level. So if you have something that's going out that's to a different S-Loc holder or whatever the case may be, then you sign the 2062 as accountability of that property.
Okay. Next question was, does the unit use DA Form 3161 as a change of document, and are they properly prepared?
Yes, so in G-Army, so every time you transfer equipment from different S-Locs, it's generated a 3161, which we call it a change document. So once you transfer equipment from S-Loc to S-Loc, you print out that 3161, that change document, and you have both parties sign, both losing and gaining, and then you attach that to the actual hand receipt, the S-Loc.
Okay. Next question is, does the unit use G-Army generated bombs or 2062 to assign responsibility for components? So that's basically when that hand receipt take responsibility of that equipment, also make sure that they are signing the bombs.
Correct.
Okay.
And they sign a 2062 if it's a commercialized item.
Okay. The next question is, are temporary hand receipts used to issue property on loan for less than 30 calendar days, and are they properly prepared?
Yes, so anything that's temporary, we sign it out 3161, 2062, make sure that it's been monitored within 180 days. Then after 180 days, they got to re-sign, re-inventory, just for that 2062 to still be valid.
Okay. The next question is, when an end item is issued on a change of document with component shortages, is the hand receipt annex prepared to document the missing components? So that basically means when you annotate the shortages on the bomb, make sure you attach them shortages to the hand receipt, right, sir?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Does the unit keep hand receipt annexes current by posting changes as they occur? When all listed shortages are on hand receipt and the receipt annex are filled, is the hand receipt annex removed from the file and destroyed?
Yeah, so basically, they maintain a document register. So as components come in, they go back to their document register, they receive the goods in G-Army, and they issue it out to where it's supposed to be.
Okay. Next question is, has the person responsible for keeping the document registers validated component shortages by installing and dating the quantity column of the DA Form 2062 after the last entry?
Yeah, that's pretty much what I just said. So pretty much they maintain the document register. So in G-Army, anytime you receive equipment, you consume the goods and you issue it out to the S-Locs.
Okay. Next question is, have recent changes of document been posted with the document numbers? I never heard of a change of document being posted with document numbers. Change of document is when you move equipment from S-Loc to S-Loc.
From S-Loc to S-Loc, correct.
So what do they mean by, does it have supposed to be document numbers with that? Sorry.
So what in this case, it's pretty much, so anything that's being PR'd to get turned in or lateral transfer that go to PBO, it come back with a document number. So those those files, those documents with document numbers remain on file.
Okay.
Because PBO process it, right? So in order for PBO to process that document, they provide a document number. They put it in suspense. Then once we execute either the lateral transfer or the turn-in, then it goes back in the system and they post it and they close it out. But you have that document number as a reference saying that this piece of equipment has been identified to go to this location or to this different URC.
Okay. Next question is, this is actually the last question. So it says, are component hand receipts or BOM used when issuing scope or end items with its components?
Yeah, so it's still the same way. It's still everything is generated in G-Army with the BOMs per each end item.
Okay. Yes, you guys, so that was part 2 of the CSDP inspection. Please stay tuned for part 3, where we're gonna keep going through the property accountability. Make sure you guys follow the Instagram at the bottom of the screen. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I also want to thank Sergeant First Class SIAS for helping me out with this part 2 of the inspection. Appreciate that, Sergeant.
Hey, thank you for having me, Sergeant.
No problem.
Hey, thank y'all. It's my pleasure.
And I'll see you guys at formation.